The less I have to think about it, the better. And holy cow, these things, it just makes it so easy. People always ask me how I keep on top of plant care, especially with such a sizable collection. And honestly, I've just gotten really good at setting my plants up so they basically care for themselves. Don't get me wrong, I love taking care of my plants, but I don't have the time or energy to be checking on every single plant every single day to make sure it's okay. So I've created a bunch of tools and systems that basically do the heavy lifting for me, and I'm going to be walking you through them today. So this is my work smarter, not harder plant care setup. Before we get into it though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let's get into these lazy plant parent hacks. The first thing is putting a lot of my plants into semi-hydro in self-watering pots. This system basically allows the plants to have constant access to water. And so for those super thirsty plants like Marantas and Alocasias, this makes sure that they are not drying out all the way because they really don't like that. And it prevents the plants from looking sad, being sad, dying even. There's loads of different self-watering pots out there and you can even DIY them if you don't want to get any new supplies. My personal favorite ones are these little Elho self-watering inserts. You're just buying the insert and you can put it into any sort of decorative pot you have. And I especially love self-watering pots that have a water level indicator on them. It makes it so much easier to just go around and at a glance see which reservoirs need to be filled up more and which ones I can leave a little bit longer. Up next, we've got a couple bits of smart plant tech. And don't worry, you don't need to be a tech genius to work these things out. I find them really easy and I've been using them for ages. For plants that I want to keep in soil, a tool that helps me with their watering needs and their general plant care are these Willow smart plant sensors. And Willow have actually kindly sponsored this video today so I can show you how these work in a little bit more detail. Basically, you get this starter pack. It comes with a hub and at least one of these sensors, and you plug this hub in and connect each sensor to this. You can connect up to 40, which is kind of crazy. So you only need to get the starter pack once, and from there on out, you can just get more of the individual sensors. Once you got the hub set up, you take the sensors and you pop this into your plant's soil, and it will start immediately monitoring your plant's soil moisture levels, as well as light through this bit here, relative humidity, and the surrounding temperature of the plant. And it's constantly keeping an eye on all of those things so you can kind of set and forget your plants a little bit and just get notifications straight to your phone when something needs changed. I've been using these sensors in a handful of plants for maybe 8 or 10 months now, and it has been such a game changer for my low maintenance plant care goals. I just don't need to worry about the plants I have it in anymore, and I can just rely on getting the notifications from this to make sure my plants are staying happy and healthy. And yes, I know this is an ad, but I genuinely love these things and I would not be spouting their praises if I didn't genuinely like the product. So have a go with the Willow plant sensors today. You can use my code and link down below in the description for 10% off so you can get a little discount because it'll make your plant care easier instantly. So thanks Willow for sponsoring this bit of the video. And then we have smart power strips. I use these in combination with automations through the Google Home app to make sure that my grow lights turn on and off automatically every single day without me thinking about it at all. I have a heck of a lot of grow lights in my home, and if I had to go around and manually turn each one of them on at the exact right time every day in order for my plants to be getting enough light, I would lose my mind and it would probably not happen at all. My plants would just be suffering. But since using these smart power strips and setting up the automations, I just don't have to worry about it. I can have different grow lights come on at different times of day depending on the plants in that area's needs. I have my greenhouse cabinet set up on a smart power strip, and the fans and the lights and all of those things turn on and off automatically. And even smarter, this bit kind of blows my mind. With the Google Home system, I can set the grow lights to go on and off according to the sunrise or sunset. And so in the deep, dark depths of winter, the grow lights are turning on a lot earlier because the sun is setting a lot earlier. And so it is supplementing the natural light I get in my home with the grow lights. And then in the summer, when the days are longer and it's brighter outside, the plants aren't needing as much grow light. The grow lights turn on later because the timing changes automatically with the sunrise and sunset. But I absolutely love that feature because I don't even have to worry about changing my grow lights depending on the time of year and the season in my home. The less I have to think about it, the better. And holy cow, these things, it just makes it so easy. This next one might feel a little bit rogue, but you don't need any extra kit for it. It is potting similar care needs plants into one pot. My prime example for that is my big Scindapsus mixed pot. I have like 8 or 9 probably different types of Scindapsus in the single pot, and I now only have to care for one pot worth of things. I don't have to go around and individually care for 8 or 9 different smaller plants and make sure that each of them is getting the exact light, watering, whatever that they need. I can just have them all in the same pot and take care of it as one plant. I personally like doing this with plants of the same genus, so I have some Scindapsus like that, I've got Hoya like that, I've got a few Alocasias that are co-planted. I know you can also do it with plants of different genus. I've personally not done it because it scares me a little bit, but as long as the plants have similar care needs like water, soil, light, it should be okay and it probably won't cause problems. But if you are a little scared or in doubt, which I was when I started doing this, start with a couple of plants of the same genus and you'll see how much easier it makes plant care because you just have less to take care of. And then the last big one is my Predatory mite subscription. I can't think of anything more low maintenance than this when it comes to pest management or prevention or treatment. This is the best I have found. But basically I have a subscription where every 6 weeks an order gets placed from me, I pay for it and everything, for 50 sachets of these Predatory mites. These ones specifically are for thrips, but you can kind of get them for whatever plant pest you want. You can get them for nematodes if you need. You can get them for Predatory mites, for spider mites, but thrips is kind of the main problem I have in my collection, and so I just get 50 sachets of the thrips Predatory mites every 6 weeks, and it does it automatically. So I don't need to be thinking about when I need to change these. I know that as soon as the new package comes, it's time for the old ones to come off and I can put the new ones on. But since using these Predatory mites and having them on the subscription, I have had significantly less issues with thrips in my collection because these things eat the larvae, eat the eggs, and so if any thrips come onto my plants, these little guys eat them up and kind of stop the problem before it gets too big and to be an issue where I'd have to go around and do a mass treatment of things. And then this last one might not be something you want to hear, but it doesn't mean you don't need to. Downsizing your collection. Over the years, I have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants, but in the last several months, I have downsized my collection significantly. I'm down to about 100 plants now, and I feel like that is personally the right number of plants for me in this space. It is the amount that I am able to take care of easily, and I can see everything, and problems don't get missed. I know you might not want to that, and I'm not saying that you have to by any means, but if you are feeling overwhelmed with your plant care and you're just trying to find the thing that makes it easier, downsizing your plants might be an option to consider, because fewer plants means fewer things to water, fewer things to treat if you do have an issue, and just generally less stress in my experience. So there we go. Those are my lazy plant parent hacks, things that I do to work smarter, not harder in my collection to make my plant care as easy and low maintenance as possible. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more lazy plant parent hacks or tips or supplies that you find make your plant care easier, I would love to hear them down below in the comments, so pop that down there. Before I sign off, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest member of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon, Billy. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you love it over there and you enjoy the bonus content and live chats and access to the Discord server and all that fun stuff. If anyone else is interested in joining, the link is down below in the description as well, so check that out if you fancy, but totally okay if that's not your thing. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!